Hey everybody, welcome to How the Sausage is Made with Chris Cosentino, where I talk with chefs, restaurateurs, athletes, philanthropists, and pretty much anybody that inspires me. We look below the surface, behind the curtain, and dig deep into how these people got to where they are today. Wins, losses, and everything in between. All right, everybody, I am super psyched. I have Chef Aitor Zabala. Yes? Did I get it right? Yes! Woo! Fun for everybody out there who doesn't know this, Chef Aitor and Somni just received 3 Michelin stars. I have had such a long relationship with Aitor. We go back many, many, many years. We've cooked together, had so much fun at events together. We were in Spain together at one point many years ago. It is absolutely, for me, one of the most exciting things to see Aitor achieve one of his goals, which is the 3 Michelin stars with Somni. But also, it's just great to see him and talk with him. He's been head down for many years working, and it's really nice to see this come to fruition and to him and his team to receive the accolades they deserve. So first off, congratulations. And thank you for taking time, because I know you are fucking busy as hell right now because the phone's ringing off the hook because everybody wants a piece of you now.
Yeah, it's a little bit stressful, but we are happy, and it's really happy to have time with you and have a catch, because that is put me a little bit in a situation, no? Besides to be always cooking in the restaurant. Even I am in the restaurant right now, because I think it's a more calm place Mondays when there's anybody here. So everything is really quiet, and I think it's the best moment of the restaurant.
So, Aitor, I want to start at the beginning because I think this is really important. What was your first cooking job? Like, where did this all start for you? Because when we met, you were with Jose, and you had come over to the States to help Jose and grow and really evolve the restaurants. So where did it start for you? Where was your first job cooking?
Well, we can go back. Where did it start? The first moment I feel in love with food.
Yes.
Yeah, so my father and my mother, they're divorced, and Sundays my father picked me up, and then he take me to next to the bullfire stadium. You know, is the bull? You know, in Spain,
Yeah.
los toros,
Yeah.
toros. And that the bars around of that stadium, they pick the parts of the bull, and everyone they make his own dishes. You know, from
So wait a
there.
second. This is after the bull had
Yeah.
lost.
After the bull, they break down in the stadium and they give in the parts to the bards. That probably now is not happen. That is, we talking about the 80s. So, but they give in the parts. Everyone take it the tail, the oxtail. Another take it the leg. Another take it the blood. Another take it the liver, and they make it something. And they have this plate is make it with the blood of the bull with the onions, roasted onions. I remember really, really well with my father. And always take me Sundays to that. And I feel so in love with that. Probably I will know it now. But yes, I don't know. And when I was a kid, 3 or 4 years ago, I feel in love with that. Because probably I see my father. And the second one, I love that plate. And I was waiting Sundays to go that bar with my father to eat at that place. So there it started. I think it started the food. But my first job started in the funny way in the army. I have a restaurant. My family have a restaurant. My grandmother have a restaurant. My mom have a restaurant or bar restaurant. Maybe it's a little bit different explanation in Spain than in America, where it's a bar or restaurant. In Spain, a bar serves food, and drinks and everything in the day, open from the morning to the night. But my first real work, was in the army. And that time, when I have 17, it was mandatory to go to the army. And I go to there for 9 months, and they put me there in the kitchen. We're serving 2,000 meals a day in a huge camp base, and this big line, And I don't know, I feel really. For another, it will be a nightmare because it was a huge place, with army situation, with the structure of the army. Me, I feel I like it. I feel that the structure, was really nice. Cooking and service and cleaning, and I don't know, that touching I feel so comfortable in that situation. So that is my first job in 17 years old. But obviously, say I have a background with my family to have a restaurant. My grandmother have a restaurant. My father was in a radio gastronomy. I don't know, deep, what is it like on a radio? They have a radio and they're talking about restaurants, about gastronomy, about food, like a hobby. My father was a bon vivant, they call it.
Yeah.
And he loved food, and always food was so important around us. So, but for my first job was this army thing. Was so unexpected for my family, because when I was in the bar or the restaurants, my mother don't let me to be in the kitchen. You take me out. This kid is really annoying. You're only moving, playing with the soccer ball. La la la. And they say so they don't let me to be. But after that, they for that situation, they go to the army and they put me there. And from there, I start to go to the culinary school and blah blah blah. And after that, but this is my first one. But I feel I found an camaraderie with the people in the kitchen. I find a structure that probably was not when I have 17 years old. We are all really bad.
Crazy.
Yeah, no, but no, we are really moving people, energetic kids,
Yeah.
and now we have a lot of the things, you have a pills, you can have ACD or whatever. Before in the 90s, probably was not that normal. And so there I find me all these things that made me feel really attached.
That's amazing. So when you had your military service, was it 2 year, 1 year? Is it
No, it's 9 months.
9 months?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's just 9 months. I was the last generations we go, because I think in 2 years after it was they take it out. But first was 1 year, and after was 9 months, and Mia was the last two. Let's say 2 years after it was removed for being mandatory. And you see, you make a 1 month training, you're shooting, you go the camp, you do all these things. And after another 7 months, you are in the base camp doing the services or whatever, or controls or whatever is you department they added you there. I mean, put me in the services and put me in the kitchen, huge kitchen. I never worked in a massive kitchen like that. I have a pool where we defrozen the cuttlefish that you can make a couple laps there. So it's huge place.
So what kind of food were you serving to the Spanish? I'm interested because I can't imagine, like the Spanish military. What kind of foods were you serving there? Because I'm sure
No,
this sounds...
I think we wasn't really mix about product that all you need to be finished. Like you fry chicken nuggets. I don't know. I don't remember. But they have another way. We have a lot of the pots, enormous pots that you can fit inside, and you can make it. They make it chickpeas still, they make it pasta or something like that. So, and we have a cuttlefish. They obviously come in fresh. You can imagine a pool of cuttlefish you need to clean yourself. Will be miserable, But they frozen in that. They come in the other cuttlefish with no skin, only the body. So after you cut it and you chop it and maybe you make it a chickpeas with a cuttlefish, the cooking was good, really nice. But obviously, you need to feed 2,000 people a day.
That's a lot.
You cannot be farm to table, So
But the cuisine was very different. Like I'm thinking, you think feed 2,000 people, right? Plus in the military, you're thinking like, okay, chicken nuggets, really not so great stuff. But you
have a chicken in the oven. You can make roasted chicken. You can do. We do say pasta, nice pasta. You have a chickpeas. You have a salad. We have an options to do that. Obviously, was not a gourmet thing, but was not bad. You think and imagine you have 2,000 militaries, young guys. They need
starving.
Energy. Yeah, and they are energy. You want them to move. You need to feed them with energy, pasta and protein and things like that, so they can run after that. But it was really cool, and I think I have the option to go in and sneak inside the kitchen, bring a couple teta brick of wine, to take it to my room, in the morning they send these donuts, fresh donuts that they service for breakfast one time a week. So I pick it up a box, take it to my friends. I feel really, really cool to do that because I have an option to sneak some food to my friends. So I have a better life than other people. Really, I think it was really cool to that. But in general, I think the food was good. So obviously, it's not a restaurant. Organized 2,000, feeding 2,000 people for lunch and for dinner. We're not talking about only 2,000. It's not lunch and dinner, and you need to have a breakfast.
It's a lot of meal periods and a lot of people.
So yeah, we have an the chef, and I remember all this now because all the team that were there was young guys like me working in the this mandatory army situation, and I have professionals ones that they pay it, but they are really low level of the army, but they have two chefs that they are not from the army. They are the bosses. They are like a civils, they are from outside. The bosses, they are always reading with a chef jacket, with a hat, really cool. They're always pristine. We are with a nice. I mean, we are ourselves. We are with a green dress with belt here, like we are in jail, something like that. But the chefs that they are from outside, they are wearing like a really nice chef jacket, nice hat, and I say, oh, these guys they have a good life, always pristine and white. So I have these pants that before use it a lot. They have the blue strap.
Herringbone. Yeah, the
Yeah,
check.
yeah. Really, really traditional ones. So I see, oh, these guys, they're badass, because, they come here in the morning, they come and say, well, we need to do the menus, blah, blah, blah. Always go white. They never take a knife. So and everyone respect to them, because they are always saying what you need to do. So I was really surprised, I think that all that things made me feel really, really.
So where did you go from there? Like, what was the next step? So you finished your service, you're 9 months, you're done.
But I arrived to home. I think I arrived to home after army, and I go there straight forward to my family. I say, I want to be a chef. I want to be a cook. And my mom, now these guys, they want to be a cook, whatever. My family was not really believe it in that moment, But my sister and she take me to all the schools around of Barcelona. So we go visit to there, have interviews, blah, blah, blah. And I finished in a school, it's called Hoffman in Barcelona. And they have a move and they have another they have the school in the same place, but they put all the practice kitchen in another spot. But when I was there, was in the first level, really beautiful house in the heart of Barcelona and downtown. And when I go up, they go inside the kitchen. They have this blue Molteni, pristine gold. I was coming from the army with the big pots, with a line of fryers. That's something really more industrial. And I come here and I see a Rolls Royce. I see a Molteni. You can imagine, 18 years old, a blue pristine Molteni gold, and everyone with the hats, really like a chef, like I see it in the army. Only that two persons, but everyone, right? Everything beautiful, all white in the kitchen, in the center of the kitchen. And I said, wow, this is so beautiful. So beautiful. May Hoffman she passed away a couple years ago. And she was the woman super elegant. So the kitchen, the school was so elegant. So you can see it. Everything is a detail, so elegant. So this was a change. Everything. So, that was cool in the army, but here is much cooler, So you can do something more, with elegancy and something like that. Let's go, or something like that. Now you can see something really. So I say, I want to work here. I want to study here. And I say, well, in that moment was not cheap, and my family so said, well, we can, let's do here. And I want to work. I want to make it here. I started the school there because my grandmother support me, and say, well, let's do it. And I started the school, and I think was the next step was to be in the school. I make it patisserie and savory, so both sides. Normally, you have two types of options. You can do savory, and you can do savory and patisserie. And me, I make it both, and that start my career there, my real career.
And what was that like being? So you were living? Was it on campus where you were living there, or did you have to get an apartment, or were you staying at
No,
home?
no. I live at home. It was pretty close to home. Me, I'm from downtown. I'm from downtown Barcelona, so I was walking distance. No, the school is really small. So it was really, really, like a boutique. It was a boutique hotel,
That's
a
awesome.
boutique school. They have a groups of 14, 12 people. Every class, and we have two classes. So we say I am the generation 8, and we have two generations. The generation 7 was the older, and the generation 8. And sometimes the new generation mixed together, but only for a month until the last generation leaves. So it was 12 or 14, 28, maybe 60 people in all the school to do that, plus whatever monographics, the classes they do there, but it was a really, really small. And now it's bigger than what it's before. Not that much bigger neither, but when we was at, it was really, really small. And we are so lucky. The chef was my teachers. I think that the first person I meet there that moved me, they impact me. They say they put you on mark and you soul about cooking was from the school. Even in the school I was terrible. So because I was young, I like party and I go out and I go to classes and la la la. But always I lost the classes that was more like about study. If I need to go in French or I need to go classes of accounting, that nah, bad. Guys, go to the school.
Yeah.
Go to the
To that
classes. Go
point,
to the classes. Go to the classes.
take the classes. We
Yeah,
both,
the
you and I are
classes.
both the same.
Yeah, go to the classes, but never lost a class for practice. We have a 1 week is a theory and the sit in the table in front of the teacher. La, 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 that. Another week is all practice because the school they have a restaurant with 1 Michelin star. So it's never any restaurant. A school they have one restaurant with a Michelin star. This is the only restaurant in the world, and a school they have 1 Michelin star. So the level is high. The chefs that are there, they're teachers. They're really high end chefs. They was working in the restaurants that they are gastronomy, and and they back to maybe be a teachers.
This is high, and this is amazing because as a student, you're expected to grow and learn. But with a 1 Michelin star restaurant attached to the school, expectations are super high. You're expected to absorb the knowledge from your classes that you didn't go to then be able to do the practical hands-on cooking. And I think that it's really important to understand, like they were trying to give you the history and the knowledge to understand why you were cooking the week before you were then cooking that style of cuisine. And I think it's really,
Yeah.
like you said, at the time when you and I were in school those were not our highlights, right? We wanted to be hands-on and, I'm dyslexic. I don't do really well in that environment. Math skills are awful. But like you said, that's a really important part that we didn't take as serious. And now as adults, we're like, I really wish I sat through that class and paid attention.
Yeah, because I think it's always in the past we learn these things, and
Yeah.
and then I feel bad always say, oh, you guys needed this student now because I was young too, and I was rebel, and I always and I will always think, and when I listen to myself now, sometimes I say, oh man, I'm old now because
Yeah.
I was not that at all, but I recognize that you learn for that. It's a good thing. And there, the school, so the culinary school was a great move to me. I think going this practice every week and being a service and understand how the quality need to be and how the standards need to be and put me in the situation was a great training. Great training. I remember always I have this French director of the school. Really, now after he left the school, he was one of the vice president of Four Seasons Culinary thing, really high end and the thing. He always come to me with this French accent and tell me that they say, well, if you was that good, study that where you cooking, you will be much better, So and say always tell me that, in my ears. Okay, whatever, okay, leave me alone, let me, when you're young, everything. Say, let me alone, but I think it was a good these 2 years and a half. I think it was that I want to do that. That I know I find what I love to do, and I was good about it. At that time was a good about it. I think I was a really young kid that I don't know what to do. I tried many things. I was not good, and I don't like to do it. I was rebel to do that. I would not have a purpose to do anything. Cooking made me a purpose. If I was not find that, I don't know what it will be. Can be in a trouble or in a good situation because kitchen gave me structure. And that was a good point and a good. I was lucky. I really believe was lucky now before and I was lucky now. So because that what I process, I pass is incredible.
So what you go through the schooling, did they
Mhm.
have an internship where they placed you in a restaurant or did you have to find one
Yeah.
on your own?
Yeah. In summer, they send you in a restaurant. So they send you 1 month. You say, you want to go in a stash? You don't want to go in a stash. Some people go, but me, I go all the years I have there. I have 2 years. I go to stash. The first year, and they send me like an patisserie, like an a bakery that they service. She was the pastry chef in El Bulli in the 80s, before Ferran going to El Bulli, She was
Wow.
the, yeah, Amin Janine. And she was a French. His husband was a chef too, French both. She was a chef in El Bulli and she was the pastry chef in El Bulli. And after left Ferran, well, after they come Ferran, well, becoming Nashil, another chef, and after coming Ferran. But she opened a bakery in Barcelona. They give into to the pastries to the high-end restaurants in Barcelona that they don't have a pastry station.
Wow.
Now everyone need to have a pastry station, but perfectly restaurants don't have. We don't have the option to have a pastry chef, it's have the space for a pastry chef. So she make it these small cakes, these round mousses, and she service to them. So they only need to put in the coulis, maybe in the end, a sauce or something like that, or canela of ice cream, and that's it. People always need a plating and passing, but they make all the processes. So I'm start there. I go at 5 a.m. in the morning, and this is small kitchen with the big mixers that people put in their hands to move the mousse, and we make it the Gioconda cakes, and we make it many, many things. So, and I was say, oh, this is not for me. I was 1 month working there. I was working, wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning this is not what I signed for it, because this is the first time I need to work. I wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning to go there. But was a good thing because I was learning too many systems and a base of a patisserie of many traditional cakes and bases and ice creams and creme anglaise and all these things, or mousses, everything, samarans, all these things that they are really traditional that now, isn't me, and they go with me. So I learned the base of the French cuisine in there, or the patisserie cuisine, and that was a good taste, but it was really hard for that. And the second year, I got this one Michelin star for Xavier Sacristà. Xavier Sacristà, she passed away 3 years ago for cancer, but really amazing person. And he was the CDC El Bulli too. So there's a funny thing, So I always was attached to El Bulli in some way or another. It's really funny, and after I found the book and everything. But sorry, I'm jumping in, but
No.
I never think about it and that, but see that connection. And me, I'm now always thinking about connections, the restaurant, how we connect the things, what is the design things, how we put it the play things. So when I think about it, so I started with this woman. She was Anik, the pastry chef. And the second year, I got this chef. It's called Xavier Sacristan. She was the CDC right hand of Ferran in the beginning of the El Bulli. And after he and general manager for El Bulli, they all go another restaurant and they take over. So I go that restaurant, the funny thing, my brother married in that restaurant maybe 8 years later or 7 years later. It's funny with him too. And I work in there in a restaurant and I sleep in the restaurant. They have a room in the bottom when the people changing there is like a dress room, but they have like bunk beds, not bunk beds. And
Yeah.
I sleep in there for a month. So I was there and the bunk bed people changing. I go there and say, what is this? This is insane, But it was really nice. So I was working 1 month there. We have a fine dining restaurant, one of Michelin star. In the summer, they have a banquets, and was crazy banquets, because so my brother married there because they have a banquets, and the summer is a high end time, and for the banquets. So I learned to be in the gastronomy restaurant, but I make it so much banquets, and it was cleaning so much fish, and at that time. I don't know if it happened to you, but that time we clean the fish bones with the teeth. You don't have tweezers. You don't have a tweezer. Now we have Japanese tweezers for taking out the bones and everything like that. No, we take it like a teeth.
What?
Yeah,
Pulling
yeah,
out pin bones with your teeth.
yeah, dude.
You can't legally even think about that now. That's so
No,
gnarly.
now you are in prison. But I see it to do that. It was crazy. Next is tweezers. So that tweezers things to bone from coming from Japan, I think is after that. So maybe in Japan they use it, but in Spain, I don't know. I wasn't see that.
Wow.
Crazy. Crazy, 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 crazy. I think this is the craziest thing I see in a restaurant. Probably. Now, if I proceed myself like a chef and say, "Hey, what is the crazy thing?" I say, "Oh, take it out the bones of a fish with it."
I can't even
No,
like
Chris,
that's just the visual on that. It's just
you sit one
crazy.
moment and think about it. No, no, it's insane. It's insane. You will be in the jail for that. You
My
make it
God.
now, you jail, and they cancel you, and whoa, man, we can be
Done.
crazy.
So
Crazy.
just I'm going to put this on blast right here. This does not currently happen.
No,
This was many years ago in Spain. That's insane to think that
yeah,
that was going on.
my brain is melting to that. But I learned a lot at work. And one thing I learned a lot there, say, when we have a banquet, chef, he put it in the sink and they clean everything. So he cleaned. He was tough as hell. Not tough like as tough with the people. It was tough that he was he was there. You know, some days you see chef there in the restaurant. He was the first that is moving me. I was like, what? This guy is a badass. You know, he's this guy. He's here every day, and when we need the most, he was there. He cleaned everything. You know, so mad respect for him, forever. You know, forever. And when he passed away, I was feel so touched because he was really was amazing guy, really amazing. And I think was it's not normally fun to that. You know, me myself, I don't clean many. I don't clean in the nights. I open the restaurant in the morning. I don't cleaning because I can't anymore. So I wish to be younger and clean to do that. But when I see a chef do that, he was maybe 50, 47 or something like that. And he was in the sink there, boom, 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 cleaning with a young guy. I said, oh man, if he do that, what I need to do. So that was a really, really, I think that adding to the work standard need to be there. You need to put in the work. Doesn't matter how good you are, how talented you are, you need to work. So it's the only way you can do it because talent, yeah, can come and go, and but put the work. Some point the thing will be,
Well, it's
So
interesting you say that because, you know, you never ask somebody to do something that you can't do yourself.
mhm,
And that's what he was doing, right?
yeah.
Or wouldn't do yourself, right? It's like if the dishwasher's going down, you help them out. And it's just really, and it sets a tone for the rest of the team when everybody realizes like high tides raise all ships. Everybody can work together to get the job done the best way possible because it's about
Well,
the guest.
that phrase you say, the work need to be done. It's always I told the team said, so always we have so much work, or so we have to do that. Or, sorry, the work need to be done, and it's non-negotiable. And this is why we are here. You can, the guests expected something, and there's people waiting here, especially. Sorry, people waiting many, many months and many weeks, and they coming from many far away, and they pay a good amount of money. So the work need to be done. That is no excuse to do that. But say there was really, really there, and it's what I start to deceive them myself. That the stashes. Still have a rebel guy. I don't want to work. Blah blah blah. But some things it was in my backpack. Adding to my backpack, and there adding that thing. Uh, and with the time, and when I have more time to think about it, I know what the thing's coming from. What moments that was added to myself. And my standards or my talents or my.
Yeah, I mean, these are your building blocks
Mm-hmm.
to who you are today. And I think the fact that you can pinpoint those moments is really important because I think sometimes folks don't realize when that moment was or where it came from, but you're pinpointing those steps that you're taking along the way. And I think that's really quite powerful. So what was the next step from there? Where was the next restaurant from that? What was the leaping point from that?
There, well, just back to school. I finished the school. And after that, I was thinking I'm a chef. I am a badass. I am a chef. I can have a restaurant, whatever. 21 years old. I'm full of shit. Sorry. You
No,
know,
it's fine. You say whatever
no,
you want.
no, as I was Yeah, I was full of shit. Sorry, because you think when you're young, you think you know everything, and you don't know. And I have somebody, a friend of a friend, that went up in a restaurant. Say when I finish the school, say, "Oh, let's do. I want to open a restaurant. You make me open a restaurant. You make me the menu." And say, "Okay, I can do it." La 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 la. Um, we opened a restaurant, and they make it the construction, everything like that. In the meantime, I have a motorcycle and I have an accident. I broke my arm, my arm, my hand, and I was opening the restaurant with the broken hand. I make it the developing, or I make it the menu. I will say developing is no. I pick it up the plates from the school. I make a couple of changes, blah blah blah. That we have in the restaurant, and we make it make it the menu. But in that moment, say, oh, the owners or something like that say, we cannot pay you because you have your hand broken, and the another people need to come to help you." I don't know, it was a really bad decision, I was thinking I know too more. So in that moment, right away he said, "I cannot pay you." I say, well, I left right away. So I left right away. That was 2 month preparation, something like that. And when he told me that, I left. And now that I see myself as what I do, because yeah, I have a title of a cook or chef or whatever, but I was never thinking what it would be my next step. I was thinking, oh yeah, the school was cool. I can go the weekends party, la la la, I cooking, yeah, what I love. But you're not touching the real life. You still have, finishing the school. If you don't have a clear vision, and it's many people we don't, uh, take a decisions is was complicated. I go to this restaurant next to the my house called Café de la Princesa, and I'm start working there. Was like an not casual, but was a little bit gastronomy, but no super high end. But they make it, the things okay. The execution was right. So, and I was there, and we are only three cooks. Everyone is in the station: patisserie, desserts, hot station, and grand manger. I was in grand manger, and I was working with another two cooks older than me. They're only 15 years older, with all habits, So you can imagine. Uh, it was a really, I love it. I think I learned a lot there. But in some point a year after, I had to say, this is not for me. If this is the restaurant life, I don't want to work here. I don't want to work in the restaurants because me. I was feeling love with when the school, the elegancy, the beautifulness, the plating nice, nice tableware, nice everything, service pristine, all these things. And now the last two choices I did, this is nothing like that, and this is like a war, And I don't like that, I don't like that. So I quit it, and I go to one of my old teachers, Luis, and I told him, say, I don't know what to do. I say, hey, why you don't go to this restaurant? But he told me he was working in a restaurant called Aquelarre in the Basque Country, and 3 Michelin stars. And that time it was 2 Michelin stars. And I said, why you don't go there? I said, well, but I don't want to do the stage, I don't have money to go for free. I said, well, let me to make it introduce Pedro Sobijana. And I said, okay. He introduced me to him. I said, okay. I said, well, what do you want to do? So let me want to do one thing. Let me to fly there. We meet in person, and we decide. So my family lives really close, maybe a 45 minutes from San Sebastian. My godfather and my godmother, and really traditional Basque people. So I fly to Bilbao. They pick me up, and we take the train with my auntie, with my goddaughter, my godmother, and she take me to the restaurant. And I go to the restaurant, go to music with an old woman, old young guy there, like at the school, and they take me to the restaurant, and I meet the chef, Pedro Sobijana. So I sit in the restaurant. Well, please invite me to the lunch. I don't pay nothing. So, and this restaurant is beautiful. I don't know if you're familiar, but it's in front of the ocean with the glasses. Now it's even beautiful. The dining room is all glass, seeing the ocean in the north of Spain. Stunning, stunning. And I was there, like 21 years old, eating. And after I meet the big chef, and the chef said, well, we'll have a conversation, we'll interview, say, okay, you can come here. You have a stash, and I give you a stash for 6 months. Say, I cannot do 6 months stash. I don't have money to do that. And I say, well, we don't have something. So I say, me, I agree with it. So you take me a stash for 3 months, And if I am good, you hire me. So I say, you started in a month or something like that. And you say, okay. So I go back to Barcelona. I'm packing everything. I make it that, and I will go to the Basque Country to live there. And I start my relationship with the gastronomy restaurants. I stay 3 months, and after 3 months, they made me a chef de partie with a salary. Beautiful. We have two services. It was really hard because you go maybe at 9 a.m. in the morning, you finish at 4, you go down to because it was in the mountain. It's like maybe 20 minutes from Bascan for San Sebastian. It's really a little bit, it's in San Sebastian, but it's in the mountain. So I need to go at 4 a.m., 4:30, we finish, we clean it up, we go downstairs, and 6:30, we need to go back and make it the service until 11. Was a really, there I say, well, this is what I love to do. After that, I was making the family meal only for Pedro, for Subihana. Every day he need to have he did omelette because he has his dietary restrictions and something like that. So it started to be, but you see, the kitchen was professional. Everyone with hats, with all the equipment, like a brigade. The kitchen was a nice Molteni, beautiful. You with a big window, see the ocean from the kitchen. I was in the Grand Manche, and I was seeing that everything. So I said, wow, this is was feel a super professional restaurant. So, well, this is what I like to do. Not what I did it before, that other two restaurants, working in a basement and something, and with the people with the bad habits, so, and then I started my career in a gastronomy restaurant. I stayed there for 2 years and a half in San Sebastian. In my breaks for summit, I go to stages for Nazak and another places there. And I was feel deep in the culture because my family is the Basque Country. So my grandfather is from the Basque Country. My grandmother is from Basque Country. My aunties live there. My niece lives there. So we have a lot, a lot to catch up that 2 years and a half, because before I go in the summer, I spend maybe 2 or 3 weeks. But this living there was a big change. So San Sebastian was, for me, the start point in this professional.
As a chef, I'm always asked the same question. What's your secret to making a restaurant quality dish at home? It's not just the ingredients, it's how you bring them to life, and it starts with the right tools. Heston's Probon professional clad cookware collection will give you control, consistency, and confidence. It's cookware that makes you want to cook more. Check it out at hestonculinary.com and use my promo code COOKWITHCHRIS for 10% off your first order. What was that like? So you're working there, and then the connections happen, right? So as that, you're now working in this, high gastronomy, 2 Michelin star restaurant, and you're staging at other places. So that ends up opening the doors to other Michelin star and other restaurants that allow you to come and spend time. So if you do really well at this one and you're coming back, they love it when you go somewhere else and learn. And I'm sure they are asking you, what's going on over there? What did you see? What did you do?
Always I put an example recipes.
Yeah.
Everyone now is asked for, give me a recipe. Now everyone can have a recipe. But in the 90s, we don't have the phones. You don't have the laptops. We don't have we start to have a USB, well, USB after, but say, we don't have that much information. So what we do is when we go the stages to another places, people exchange recipes. Maybe they printed all the books of the recipes like an secret, with no allow it. But we printed out maybe the scanning, or they printed the recipes in a machine, and after they come in with the thicker that, and we exchange it. So we make many copies, and always this exchange with the people in the stashes. So that was create so much camaraderie, because you need to learn the recipe, there. You need to go there, but people, they give you a recipe like in a paper or something. Now you can have a USB, all the information, they exchange a lot. You can go on your phone and you can have any recipe in the world. But in that time, was not that easy to have a recipe, It's not, we talk about 80s, 70s, or 60s, the people hiding the recipe. Here, we want to share the recipes. But was really not that easy to have it. The same with the books, I remember going all the libraries and trying to pick it up, all the books in the library. I think the stashes create an amazing camaraderie and exchange information a lot. And they talk to you about other places that you don't know. Just to be clear, me, the first time I know El Bulli was a book it's called Los Secretos del Bulli, The Secrets of El Bulli, was something they sell it in the kiosco. A kiosco was in a small place in the middle of the street that they sell the magazines, and I think here is the same thing, but I don't know what it's called, the name, you know. You can buy, and they have this encyclopedia, and the first book was Los Secretos del Bulli, and I buy it. So, dude, what is that? This is something that isn't a from another planet, And going to the stash, for me was another planet because I'm coming from a French cuisine with the sauces, reduction, the meat glasses, the protein, the thing, more in a structure like that. That what he's doing, that what they're doing in El Bulli, in that time, and the stash is what they bring us is the information to that because you don't go there. Oh man, it's oh man, what they do that is crazy. There's some food, with the foam or whatever. Or, they make it this slicing really really thin cuttlefish, and they make it raviolis with that and crazy. So that thing is change everything, the information, is where you have the real information. Now you have information here in the phone and in one click you can have it. There is no phone. It's not says a phone.
Notebooks, lots of notebooks.
A lot of notebooks, a lot of things like that. A lot they go to the library in your time, that you can have have a books that you start to learn. I still remember the first time I had the Jan de Salvaren book, and I was really feel in love with that book, and the only you say before the only information you can have it is that, no, you have exchange information or you go into the library, so and you cannot buy books. You could say the salaries was really minimal, and you have barely you pay your rent, your for eating, for transportation, and that's it, And maybe one day or two you can go drinking a couple of beers, So, but I think that was a big change too.
So you're staging at all these different restaurants. So what was the next step after working? What was
Well,
your
I go
next
to back.
restaurant?
Well, I was finishing in Aquelarre, and Pedro say, "Well, what I can help you? What do you want to do? The next step of yourself?" And I say, "Oh, I don't know. I want to go the next thing. I want to do something good. What do you recommend?" And he say, "Oh, well, you don't go to Michel Gerard, and and Michel Gerard for me, I didn't even know who was at that time Michel Gerard." And I start to learn, Michel Gerard, who is the father of the Nova Cuisine, and how he do. I said, well, and what he was, where it's located, and I said, oh, I want to go there. I want to go there. But in that time, I still have this legend that Spaniards and French, la la la, is really tough for us. The French kitchens was really really tough. But there was to say, oh, let's to go. I want to go. I want to go. But then I have a partner in that time that she moved with me to Basque Country. She said, I don't want to go move there in France now. So for you, So I said, okay. Well, I accepted. And Pedro said, why you don't go to El Bulli? Let me to talk to El Bulli. So, okay. They give me the contact. I talked to the chef de cuisine El Bulli, and he said, oh, well, you're coming for Pedro. I will find a space for you. Don't worry. I'll let you know in 1 month because they make it all the process, whatever. So in a month or two, there was no contact to me. So I said, oh, what a weird. I was waiting in Barcelona for that to move to Rosas. It's 1 hour and a half from Barcelona. So I started to planning my life to move there because I was thinking we'll have the position. But when I call them back, say, hey, you have any information? Because I'm waiting here. Say, oh, I'm sorry. The CDP, you pick it up the station and he stay. He don't make. So, but you can come for my stash. Say, I don't have money. I'm just back from the Basque Country. I move all my things here. I need to find apartment here. And, all the situation was not feeling well. So I said, okay, what I'm doing is, again, I'm start to say, I jump into an hotel, super luxury hotel. The friend works there. And say, well, you don't work here a little bit until you find the next step. So I work in an hotel, room service, everything. And I know that was not for me. And in the meantime, I was looking around. So I was looking around, and I find working in this restaurant from a chef. It's called Xavier Pellicer. It's called Avac, and now it's three-Michelin stars. But when he was there, it was only 1 star. But he was the chef of a really famous restaurant called Racó de Can Faves in Catalonia, the first three-Michelin star in Catalonia. And I go working with him. So he, it was really tiny kitchen, and he doing magic there for how small it is. Really love the hours. There is when we start to learn to clean the birds, take the feathers, the rabbits, break down the rabbits, all the hunting products. He worked really, really well. Really, really well. And I remember, one day in the desk, we have a service slow in the middle of the day. I have my station ready, and I have a space in the back. So sitting in an olive pot with a trash bag, taking out the feathers there. La, la, la. I say, fire whatever. So boom, I go there, make it the play, whatever, fire everything, and everything like that go back to and after that we have a breakdown suckle pigs, and we break down and we cute it and we cryovacuum and we cook it. So I learned a lot there because it was a massive work to do, and it was a small team. So because in Aquelarre it was a big brigade. You have your station, you have your dishes, and the service is stressful because it's all loving. I go, 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 go. But mise en place was manageable, And if you have one person with you, but you can do it. But here in Navac was, say, you break down 10 suckle pigs, you have 20 birds, you have a rabbit, and you need to break down everything, cryovacuum, because they come in once a week, you don't have everything. You have a bison, the bison, we keep it with the grapeseed oil in a bag so they can be no oxidated. So we have learned massive things in a big volume, making many work for a gastronomy restaurant that we service maybe 25 people a day. But we have one person in the meats, one in fish, one in Grand Manger, and one in desserts. And, and the chef and the CDC. So we have 7 or 8 people. So it was there when I learned that the small restaurants, they have a lot of work to do. 2001 and 2, I think that. But I learned a lot.
Right now, at that point, Spain is humming. There's a lot of hum going around in Spain. Yeah. Spanish gastronomy is becoming the main focal point, and it is humming.
Yeah.
Like the word is getting out.
Yeah, from 96, I think so. 96 to 2008, 7, all that decade was Spain was exploding, massive.
Yeah.
It was massive because I think it's come in the process when Barcelona have the Olympic Games in 1992. They opened a lot the country, because still have carry on the 80s after the dictator ending in the ending of 70. So that means the country still a little bit moving forward to the modernity, I will say, and the 90s the Olympic was a good open to that, and all this great chef with amazing minds was pushing boundaries to that. I live all that decade really, really crazy. So, and Xavi was the chef was one of them because he was the CDC. He's half French, half Catalan. His mom's French, his father's Catalan, but he worked with Alain de Tournier. He worked with it's called with Alain Ducasse. We work with all the high-end French, and after go back to Barcelona, and he go work with Santi Santa Maria. Call Canfabas, and it was make it the first three-Michelin-starred in Catalonia. So it was someone. Yeah, I don't know how it's now, but before, for me, when we see the people that there, they do these things. So, the first make a three-Michelin-star. Or I remember I have Igor Zalakain. He's for many years, he's the creative director of Juan Mari in Arsac. He was in Michel Bras, and he was the first Spaniard plating in the Michel Bras plating, and for us was like a god. So he played in Michel Bras. He put in one sauce, and now you hear everyone come here and want to put a sauce in a plate. But for me, was he's plating in a Michel Bras. Michel Bras. Come on. So I think it was more naive. We are more naive than was now people in that way. So these people. It's like a something. The wall is moving for that, and now you talk about it with somebody. It's like, what the fuck, get out of here. They only put a sauce, so you put it a plate to put it tomato. But for me, I see these people like a mash. I am say I'm not follow people. I don't have a say. People see Messi, see LeBron James. They're super fans to that. I was never to do that, but these things was made me moving. He's plating Michel Brass, the first Spaniard. Yeah. And now I think about it, I think it's cute and funny, but in that time was something moving. Yeah.
It's
Wow.
inspiring. It
So
inspired you.
yeah, inspired me a lot. So it was funny. Say now I don't care. Some person is making 1,000,000,000 points in basketball. That's really hard to do it. But I was really freaked out because one person put one tomato in a plate. So that's, you know what I mean. That is really really crazy.
It shows where your passion is, and I think
Yeah,
that's what's really important. I think, and so you're at this hotel. Then you transition over to this other restaurant. So where is it going from there? Because you're full bore. You're breaking down rabbit, you're skinning rabbits, you're plucking. And for those of you folks who don't know what it's like getting a whole bird and plucking the feathers, even all you chefs out there, it is a bloody mess. You got feathers that stick to you, they stick to your clothes. It stinks.
yeah. No,
It's a lot of
that is bad. But the problem is when you pushing the feather and you broke the skin, and you need to go to the chef and say, "I broke the skin."
the skin. Yes.
Let's say, and that is the end of the day for you. So it's like
Never ending.
so he's really bad, So the friend would say, "You put it." Always I put it a trash bag in my legs. I put it a lot. We put water, so when I throw the feathers, they stick in the water, so
yeah.
they brought it out. So, but the worst thing is when you go fast because you're in the service and you need to clean that feathers and you pushing
Nick the
so much
skin.
there, and you wrap it the skin, and that is, I don't know, they're coming from the south of France, everyone's a week. They treat like a gold, and there's you need to respect the product, but you are in the shit. So and when you broke one is. I remember one day a chef, so I was breaking down a suckle pig, and he wasn't, I am in the past, and I broke in the suckle pig, and they have some blood. The blood is just in the jacket of the chef. And the kitchen was stopped. So, but for a second, he turned back to me and said, "In France, you will be fired for that." So, okay. Okay.
Sorry.
Sorry. No, I think all that you have a breakdown things and to do that and you make it right, it's take a time, The birds are really, really delicate. And we keep every bone, have the becada, I don't know how it's called in English, the long becadine, is a really like one of the delicatessens that you cannot legally salvage, I think so anymore. But we cook ortolans, that is not, the ortolan,
Oh,
so
yeah. I know the ortolan.
yeah, so we cook ortolans. I learned a lot of ingredients that I was so lucky to learn to that because now you cannot service that anymore. And not many chefs they know to do it anymore because it's not. And I did it. We keep it every bone of the birds to make it a small stock, that this stock is serviced for the next sauce. It was really, really like a jewelry work,
Yeah.
It was really, really beautiful. But there, I was really happy at the restaurant, but I don't see my growth there because I have a sous chef there, obviously the chef de cuisine, and I was hungry to have more options, and I was hungry to put it the finger, be creative. Because let's to be clear, me always the interesting to do in a restaurant is creating. I was feel a love to try to make it things to it's what is move me, really move me. I love cooking, but I will say without any now is anybody listening, the action of cooking is repeating sometimes for me is boring. For me, the acting created is what they keep me moving. If not, probably if I need to come every day to restaurant to do every day the simple thing, it's when I'm tired and I'm burn out or I'm not happy. I need constantly change. It's my personality and it's right to do. So when I was there, I said, I don't have that option because what you do, you cook everything, you prepping everything, you cook everything, and you pass to the pass and the chef in the, in the plating and they pass it. You never touch a plate. You never plating a dish. So, I was trying to do all the process. So I was looking for that. And I have one new restaurant. It's called Alquimia in Barcelona. Young chef, Jordi Vila, Catalan chef, that he was just awarded for with my Michelin star. He was looking for well, see, he's the CDC, but was the CDC sous chef position. So the one is holding the restaurant when he was not there, la la la. So he offered me a job. There is when I learned to be, have the option to put the things in the menu, and I am the only person that will, the first one, let me add it one dish in his menu. I will always will be so grateful for that because that burned my inside, and say, this is what I want to do. This is what I really want to love to do it, do plates or create it or be, create something from zero to the guests. And I learned another things. I was running a kitchen, helping with the kitchen, and I was not full run kitchen because he make it orders, and he's still in the top of that. But I have a people when he was not there, and so I control the kitchen. So he has a recording in a radio or something. I was there, controlling to that, how we organize, how we need to be, the preparation, all things like that. And I learned about a lot of the Catalan cuisine because obviously coming from a Basque family, we not cook it that much Catalan cuisine. Even I live in Barcelona, I eat a lot of Catalan cuisine, but learning to do it is another thing besides to eat it. And but that fire to my end, and where will be in a restaurant that you can be creative and do things and say. That is was a big change too. Big change because that is when the moment I say I want to do creativity. I want to do, I want to do plates. I want to do make it a meaningful things in the plate. Not make it cooking for cooking only. That is great too. I want to do something that is something with background, with meaningful. Even make it a tortilla is meaningful because it's for feeding people. But you know what I mean. Adding something.
You are looking to evolve, right? You're looking for that creative involvement, but also the evolvement of cuisine and the gastronomy that was happening in the world around you was massive at that point.
Yeah, it was massive, and I think the good thing is I was touching all the I was talking Basque food, modern Basque food and traditional. When I was in the Basque country, I go to Barcelona. I learned French a lot, and I let learn Catalan. So I was touching all the Spain we call tocar todos los palos. You touch all the styles, and I was missing that part. What I really feel in love with cooking is, as I told you, when I find the book on Los Secretos del Bulli, I learned from Albert Adria, the creative culinary is a creative director. That was not something normal in the restaurants at that time. You are not. It's not she's a creative director, that is something for a big corporation.
Yeah.
Hell is that? So when you start you learn more and reading and things like that. So this is amazing. So I was there for 2 years, 2 years and a half. And in some point, he's coming a stagiaire, American stagiaire, and he come from El Bulli. He was closing El Bulli. So they come to stage to the restaurant, and he was talking to me and said, "Oh, chatting about it. How was El Bulli? Oh, it's good. So, but next year they have a hard time because I think the many CDPs leave. I think maybe they're looking for some. Oh, after think about it, say, well, I am here. I'm a CDC, one Michelin star. I make it good money for my age. Yeah, obviously we want more, but was a good position. I have a house, I have an apartment, I have my dog, I have my partner at the time. Good life, or normal life. But I decided I was thinking, I have that thing inside me that say, oh, they don't catch me 7 years ago, 6 years ago when I make it the interview, and now it's an opportunity. But the process, I am a different person. Now I need to left many things. I need to step back because obviously I'm a CDC and probably I go to the CDP. So that means I step back not once, I step back three positions back. But maybe it's something I need to do it because I if you sometimes you need to make it a step back to have a more realize what you want to do, and sometimes it's not a step back. It's something isn't a move forward. But I was thinking, I think is this my last option? I have 29 years old. I have a good position. I'm the city. I have a recognition in my city or a little recognition inside the industry because I'm a CDC of one Michelin star. Was not that many Michelin stars, and it's a really small city, and we know each other. But I said I need to do it. So I go to the El Taller. Taller is the famous place where they make it all the developing in El Bulli, and I meet the CDC and say, we have a position. He told me the pay. And it was maybe, I don't know. I don't want to say nothing, but it's about maybe half of what I did before, or something like that, or one third. But I said, okay. So I will arrive out there, and you see the lab. I see Albert Adrian around, Ferran walking around, because it was no meeting with them. I was meeting with the CDC, Albert Rauric, in that time. With 29, I was feel like a kid there. So this is amazing, you know. This is nothing I see before. I see a brigade in the Basque Country, like a beautiful brigade. I see a small restaurant with 1 star. I go dinner at restaurants, but this is another thing. They're developing a menu in a loft in middle of Barcelona with full of a library of all the books, culinary books. You can see a table full of all the prototypes of the dishes they will use it for the next season, you know, and a wall full of with this small, you know, you see another small spicy
Yeah.
things. What is that? You know, and the kitchen, they moved the table, and the kitchen was, you move the table and was all the induction, and the table was used for play. I don't know what's something futuristic, you know, say Futurama, no? Like, what the heck is this? And and they offered me the job. I said, well, you can come here. I have this person. You can live with him. You guys connected each other. We have one friend. They have an apartment. You can go to his apartment. I left everything. No, I left Barcelona. I go to this apartment, and I started working there. And I was funny because I told him when I finished the interview, so, well, you can give me the recipe book, so I start to learn, you know, that type of things you try to showing, say, bringing paper and a notebook. So we will teach you everything. Is they tell me, so like, forget it, everything. Your life is started now. Whatever you learn. So when I was thinking about that moment, I think like that. They are telling me, whatever you learned before, put it in the back, coming with empty idea. And I
mean,
remember,
that says a lot to, and that's a really important part, I think, for a lot of folks, to be willing to step back, because a lot of times you get stuck because you get into a role that you are paid more, you have a title, and people, like you said, it's an ego. You get stuck there. And instead of to move forward, you need to step backwards and put your ego aside. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's a really powerful growth as a person, to be able to recognize that and walk through that door.
I think I never take a decisions through money. And when I take the decisions with money, things was not click well. I take it because we are a human, you know, and we have necessities, and money and functionally is so important, key part of the life. But when I take decisions about money, the things never work naturally. The thing was to feel forced. You feel like I have a chain in your neck, you know, where so the money's here, you know, and I cannot go because I have this life. That was easy. Even I left many things because after that, my partners told me, "Oh, you," in that time told me, "Oh, you left El Bulli, the restaurant wall like this, or me? Well, I'm here. You know what is my? You can see imagine what it was. So, but I think was a great decision because you know, I learned another thing. All the part of the ego that I have a young, they totally melted. They go out because I have another wrong thing. So, but the ego was out because I was in the best restaurant in 4 years, the best restaurant in the world, and I can do anything else more. You know that I can know. I know I would not be for the four times the best restaurant in the world anymore. You know, and even like I was a part of the team. Even now, if they give me the best restaurant in the world one day, I will not be even that because it was a change game. You know, that is a history making. You know, it's a really many things. So my ego, when people say, "Oh, why you want to be there?" Doesn't matter. I was in the best restaurant for me, or one of the best restaurants in the history will be always in the books. I was part of that. Yeah, I can have three-Michelin star, but I was in the best restaurant 4 years with one of the more transcendental chef in the history. So what I can be, I will never be close to that, you know. So my ego is totally fine with that, no. So and it was great. As I think I've learned many things to there. I coming with 30 years old, so I was not that young to go there. So I can be, you know, I can learn more when you are older because you have you need to let it go many things too. No, as I say, you need to forget things that you learn. You need to relearn many things, and it's hard because we have an ego. No, I say, hey, I was a CDC here. I make many things. I need to come here. I need to set the many orders. That was not easy at all, and evolving and then moving with that and progressing with that, and I was lucky. I was really lucky, and I have a great 2 years, 3 years, and the first year um was hard, but that bring me to US because after we finish the season, I come into United States because Jose and Anthony Borderline come to the restaurant, no? And I bet I meet them there, and Jose offered me to come and check it out. What is United States for my break, my winter break we have in El Bulli because El Bulli open 6 months and close 6 months to developing. That year I was not in the test kitchen. Years later, I go back to when I go back from the United States, I go there, but we can explain it later. But that was a change game and everything. They changed my life. They put me connected with people that they changed who I am now. I learned many things that using right now, the standards that we look at now. It's many, many things. And in the end, I was part of something historical, so everything was so important that moment for me. I would be stupid not recognize to that was a privilege to be there. I was working hard for that, but there was a privilege to that. And I say one of the best decisions never make it, no? So I say, well, in that moment, my family, oh, you left your girlfriend, your life, a good job, a good salary for going to there and making less money, running, in the beginning was not easy to understand, but after the years, I will say not always, but in the big decisions, I'm lucky. I take a good decisions. And now maybe it can be better, obviously, or worse. But I think if I put it in a balance, the decisions, the big decisions of what I going, what I go to training, what I be a mentor, what I move in a country or a city or whatever, I was lucky, because sometimes you throw in a coin and can go one side to another, and doesn't matter how hard you work, how much you think about it, how much decisions, doesn't matter. Things can be going on one way to another. And if obviously people say, no, lucky not exists. At some points, yes. Because I have many people in the world that they are great chef, they have a lot of talent, but maybe for you not in the situation in the moment. So that was a good decision, and was one of the great 3 years of my life. If you let me, where you go back, what time you will go back in your life? When I will be a child, and I will be a bully, because it was fun. We work in many hours, but we have a huge team. We have we go party. We go finish at 1 a.m. and we go sleep and we go to the bar and we go 5 or 6 a.m. in the beach and all there, and after shower and go back to El Bulli and make it the service. Was really beautiful.
I mean, you get to experience so much there. You saw, the amount of people that you worked with that have gone on, who have went through the system there at El Bulli, and being able to work in the development kitchen is massive.
Yeah, no, we touch it with many people there. We meet with all the huge chefs there now that was passing there. Maybe not my time, or maybe my time, but many people that you can see now, they are the icons in the different countries. They coming from a stash, or they were partners with me. They're working at a station with me, or something like that. And or in the summer, in the end of the summer, or the end of the season, I will say, and Fernando was keep it to the last 2 weeks to bring all the chefs that they want to come to see it, the last thing they did it. So they come maybe spend, the day in the restaurant, and in the night they go into dinner to the restaurant. So I don't know, I see many, many people, and not only that, we do many, many cool events, The first year we do, no, the second year we do Basel, is the art, the first chef was have an exposition in an art convention, and was El Bulli. Huge drama, that thing. But every day, one person from Basel, they flying to El Bulli to have a dinner there. It is crazy. It's realistic. It was crazy enough. The thinking like things like that. They call it Pavilion G's or Pavilion 6. I don't remember the name, but they have a 7 or 8 pavilions in Basel, and the one in Rosas. So, and every night flying to people there, artists from everywhere in the world. So what's really crazy, that the place, because it's in the middle of nowhere. But people know that it's middle of nowhere. You go every day, you need to make it 15 kilometers and roads that there's only two cars that cannot pass each other. So one car they come and with a lot the rounds and crazy places. We have many accidents to that. So everything will make it that magical, Say, oh man, you go there every day. Like it was like a history every day, It was really, really cool, Every day you go to pick it up water in the ocean to cook the mussels. All the things that now there are people doing it is really cool. We do that. So it was, I don't know, everything was so romantic in that time. I think everything was so, you feel that you are part of something really amazing, Because it was 70 people working there from around the world, one from Mexico, one from Chicago, one from Barcelona. It was 70 people speaking Spanish, people don't speak in Spanish. It was really, really, really cool, And what's what we put it there, it was massive, take a 50 courses, and that position in 3 hours. That is really, really, really incredible.
So your 3 years are up.
Mm-hmm.
You'd gone to the US in the downtime for your 6-month off with Jose at one point. What was that next step from the 3-year mark after El Bulli?
Well, I was in El Bulli, I was in the lab, I was part of the developing team. Amazing. That is achieving a dream, because one of the goals for me was working in the lab, working in the taller, because, I say, it was not normal. Anyone have a taller in that time. Anyone have a lab. And it was something that was wondering for years and years and years and years to work, and always listen like that. This is legend, they work in the. So I working there, massive, but be part of that, adding some of my elaborations in the menu of El Bulli was, that another thing on my ego is full it up. So now you can tell me, make it a plate for anywhere. I don't care. I make it in that time for that restaurant in that moment. Massive. Oh, well, at some point I was need to decide what's the rumors they will be closing, and something like that. Me, I cannot growth more because I have Uriol, Eduard, and Mateo, the chef and owners of Disfrutar. Legends, cracks, amazing. Was a top there. I cannot go in harder than top there, because they stay there. From my times with Jose, I was in DC. I was see all the restaurants working minibar, the old minibar. I'm sure you were the old minibar.
I went to the old in Cafe Atlantico, the original, with who was there when you were there? Who was in that crew?
Well, was many. Fukushima was there.
Oh my God, yeah.
I was many people. Ruben and was many people. We remember when I moved to DC, they have 6 restaurants. And now they have a 50 or something like that. We are big. We are big compared with the restaurants I am familiar with, but was not that huge as now Jose and the Jose restaurant. But my time in DC and the first time I tried for 5-6 months, I was not feel really attached. Not with the restaurants. The restaurants incredible. Jose is really helping me. But that was more with the city, It's really coming from Barcelona, from the beach, water, sun. Going to DC, I arrived in October, packing. My first arrival was not really incredible. Yeah, no, because I was really hard in speaking English at all. Now I speak a little, but in that time I don't even say hello. Literally, I was not speaking nada. And I have a really hard arrival because arrival the first time, and they tell me I have with one other friend. My friend was speaking English, so when we go to customs, so you helping me. We go both. We coming to here to visit because we come to visit and see the restaurants. We was not working. We was to see the restaurants, blah blah blah. But he was a little bit tipsy, I will say, in the fly. And they move us in different directions when we go to the customs. So I'm in customs there. I don't know, can explain myself. It was okay. They put me in. They take me 4 hours to inside in a room. Oh, you come to work here, what you do, la la la. I said, no, I work in a restaurant called Bulli, coming to see the gastronomy or the in America. I want to learn, la 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 la. But the 4 hours, so 4 hours was crazy. So man, how are we gonna start my life here like that? they let me go. They put me in a hotel. The company put me in the hotel. And that time I was a smoky. I am a smoker. I go there and I need to ask for cigarettes. And I remember as this woman back in and asking, pointing the cigarettes. And that time I was smoking another brand than what I wanted. She gave me another brand and say, no, 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 I want that. So I make it that. And the woman's like, no, I stayed for 2 minutes, people waiting in the back with no speaking English. And in the end, I pick it up, the packet that she gave me was not the brand I wanted smoking. So I would say everything started to really bad when I come here. Everything is not speaking English. Oh, I know can go out. They put me 4 hours in a room. So it was really, so it started bad. And after the city, so the weather and everything like that was not really appealing to me. So I said, oh, I don't want to back to the United States. So it's when I back to Bulli. I finished my season there. And in the meantime, I want to try again to United States because it was the time I tried to open a restaurant in Barcelona or find a place, but it was the economic crisis. 2009, 2010 was really bad for the economy, especially in Spain. So it was not too much support to make it in a project that can be my project and my dream. So I was start to throwing emails to United States. So I sent it Daniel Patterson my resume. I said Thomas Keller. They're saying, "Well, you come for a stash, or you're coming from low income, or something like that." I said, "Well, come on! I working many years. I have a background. I work coming from the Bulli, so you can guys don't call me coming from a stash with 32 years old. So it's not. And I understand because I understand the visa was really hard. I think the only visa they want to give me is the G1. So it was not working. Ruben, famous Ruben Garcia, I was contact with him and say, hey, can you throw my resume to somebody in West Coast? Because I want to work in West Coast. They're working in San Francisco. And so he done did it. What he did it, sent it to Jose. And Jose called me right away and say, hey, motherfucker, why you don't want to work with me?
Sounds like Jose.
Yeah. You don't want to work with me. You come in 6 months, why you don't come with me? So, Jose, I want to work in West Coast because DC, I tried it. I don't like it. I want to live in West Coast. I think it will be better for me. The products. No, you come work with me. And I was really, in that time, I was really tough. I was just finishing El Bulli. I was jumping in different people. I was jumping cities, apartments, so because I don't have nothing. I said, I need to do, I have zero in my pocket. The Bulli is gone. I was trying to find a couple projects. The projects doesn't work. I need to take a decision. So that's why I send the email, say, hey, can you put me in somewhere? And Jose told me, he said, well, we have an interview with Jose. So, well, let's have an interview. We have an interview. He called me, I have a video call. Say, well, why you don't come here and we'll see what's going on. You come to DC and we'll see in the future. So, okay. I don't know. But he's supporting me and says, well, I don't have money. I need to do something. I have a good relationship with Jose. So the relation was great with Ruben and all the team there. So let's do that. And if it's not work, it's okay. You like before, you make it 6 months and you leave. So yeah, so I make it done and I come to DC. I come to DC like a culinary or creative director, and coming with no money. The first day Jose arrival, he gave me $300 in singles, and I was thinking I am rich. I promise to you. Literally, I was thinking I'm rich, Chris. I was thinking, oh man, it was a thick, coins. Imagine $300 in singles. So it's fucking a lot. It's thicker. So I said, oh man, I am rich. I go to the metro station a couple hours later to buy my pass, and half of that is gone. So fuck, I am not rich anymore, So was really, it was the necessity because to say I was no money. I was no little money. I come in with a lot of faith and with a lot of dreams, but I come with nada. I come in with zero. So I'm lucky Jose was there because it's now it will be harder. They give me an apartment where we stay all the Spaniards, Ramon, Ruben, to that. But what's tough? And I started in DC. So I started in DC We start with a lot of projects. We started with the project in Las Vegas, the big one. We make it with the Cosmopolitan. We opened 2 restaurants there. And from there, I started my 12 years with Jose Andrés restaurant.
I can't even, I think about how many times you and I crossed paths through that. I mean,
Yeah.
whether it be hanging out in DC, when you guys had opened, because when that had opened in Vegas is when I was shooting Top Chef Masters and you were there. Remember? We were all going out. But all those years, like just crossing paths and seeing you at all those events, cooking together in Aspen, right? Remember out in that big lawn, cooking outside? I remember all those times, and you like really pushed the envelope there. You got to have that creative fun.
Well, we are lucky that that time Jose company grows a lot. You know, say we come and we have 5 or 6 restaurants, and we start to create many concepts. You know, that they are different each one. You know, some point in some companies, when they have a concept, they feel that concept. But Jose in that time was every concept a little bit different. Why we don't open a Chinese Peruvian? Why we not open, the American one? Why the American stubborn isn't even open now anymore? You know, why we don't do this Puerto Rican Spaniard and Puerto Rico? And so he always was a new idea. So that they put it as a lot of work because it was crazy. It's crazy to make a conceptuality, all the concepts all the time, and make a recipes like that. But in the same time, put a fire and Ruben and myself, because we are hunger, hunger to do things, to be fun, to create a concepts that they are different, food, especially the food. So this is what our department has. So that was a wild time because we can do everything. We can go now flying to Las Vegas, open a restaurant in Las Vegas, go flying to Miami, go to Miami. I'm from Barcelona. Moving Barcelona to Rosas, 250 kilometers, was a big deal. Here, I take it 6 hours flight to go to Las Vegas for cooking and a journalist and me by Jose Andres was something that blow my head. So, wow, that the things it's changing everything in big. They're coming from a restaurant in Bulli with a 45 seats, 50 seats to make it bazaar, 500 guests a night minimum, and a level that need to be really good. So was a change game for me. I don't I don't know if it's what I really want to do it, but adding so much color in my things, in my knowledge, and I see the options to do it. That they teach me too that this is not really want to do it. I take it 12 years but in that 12 years I learned crazy things to create the concepts that they make it really cool. And I say, and I don't know, what there is the opportunity to do many things because in El Bulli you have a structure, you have a Ferran and you have Uriol and you do things, you do one, it'll be perfect, but you do one. And sometimes you ask, I have this filming from El Bulli, Un día en El Bulli, no, Un día en El Bulli, no. The Bulli, and it's from a Germany director. I don't know, remember what is. There's a filming. I am there, and I asked Uriel Castro to buy 2 green asparagus for try something. Say no, 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 no. He told me no, 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 no. So was it really controlled to do that? And Jose's was I can do anything I want. I have the opportunity to be the crazy I want. The opportunity I can do. They try to ordering obviously with no going crazy about ordering, but I can no limits. And the ideas, you can do whatever you want because I was the responsible, one of the responsible. So that was another thing was crazy. The opportunity was massive.
So when did that change when you were with Jose to opening Somni, from opening all the different projects for you being focused on Somni in SLS? When did that change?
I think one of the things is to move to LA. I think that it was the big step because in some point I was living for 2 years in DC, and I thought at some point to Jose, at the time we opened Miami, Bazaar Miami, and I was making I told him I want to be in LA. So and Jose at that time, because you say I come in the first time I come in LA, it was in October or something like that, November or September. DC was not hot, raining. I think the day I picked the fly, arrival to LA, everything is sunny. It was a Wednesday. They pick me from the fly. They take me to Santa Monica Farmers Market and say, come on, come on. So So like no, it's not an option. It's not an option. Well, it's not an option. So I told Jose, so let's make it a development from Bazaar Miami and Bazaar LA, because I coming after that. I come in often to change the menu every month or every 2 months. I come into with the CDC and Ruben. We come in to make it the ins and outs in the menu. We have some special event. We make it the NBA Lakers ceremony for the All Stars. When we have all these events, we come in flying from DC and we come in here, we make an event. So I was started feeling I love it. When Miami is real and we need to make it to develop, I told Jose and the company, say, why you don't send me to LA and I make it the developing there? Because in the end, we need to make it the test in LA. It's the same company about these things, about the payments for the, it's easy to do that. No? Besides to do it and I have a big kitchen, so in the time we don't have that huge test kitchen in the headquarters in DC. So I said, and I want to be in LA. So and Jose, he was nice. I said, yeah, let's go. I've been here for a month, developing, coming Jose. We make it the test for Miami. Everything is great. And at some point I go pick it up outside to Jose in the patio, the patio outside. He smokes cigars and say, well, I move here or I go back to Barcelona. I don't think I can go back to LC. And Jose was not happy about it. Yeah. But he said, okay, well, after a couple months in DC, talking with the human resources, we finally agreed that I can move to the LA. So I moved to LA. And there's my base was in Bazaar. But always was in my mind to try to make it fine dining. And so I always told Jose, I don't want to do 500 people. I don't want to do that. It's not me. It's not what I like to do. It's great. It's amazing. I learn a lot, but I want to do that. So we have this small restaurant called Sam in the back of Bazaar. I know you're familiar with that. It was a room, 20 seats. It was, some days work, some days not work. And so I take over that. So I say, Jose, let me take over, and I will be with Bazaar, with the hotel. I check it out the hotel. I go to Las Vegas, whatever. But let me to have more personal touch in the sound. And he let me to do that. So we make it work. We're working for 2.5 years. The work was, one day we make it 0, one day we make it 4, we make it wasn't really up and down. So it was no easy to do that. But what really learned a lot. Say, I think people, we can do something here. The team was really good. They have a really passion about it. And I start to put the seat of Jose and the owner say, what are we gonna, the room was really low, the light really low, like speakeasy, I'm assuming for being for actor, for people don't want to be see it or things like this. And I say to Jose, why we don't make a change and we make it like a table, like what we like to do, like a counter. He was into it in the beginning, but after he support a lot in that, and after we talked with the owners, and the owners accepted to that. So they taken probably 5 years to do that, but in the end we make it. So and in the end, that is when they started. I will say Somni started in 2014, 2013, being like an idea, painted even what will be the table, what will be that, until we probably the owners in 2016, they say we can maybe do it. Until 2017, August 2017, we started the construction.
Wow.
Yeah, I was persistent. So if I have something, a talent, I am persistent.
That's obvious. That has not
Yeah,
changed.
I think is that never think about, and this is a really persistent, because the stubborn is not a really good thing sometimes. But I will say the persistency to have a restaurant like a fine dining, and especially I think when I meet some people that say, "Oh, LA is not a fine dining or city. Oh, we cannot do it here. This is not be working here." They put me even fire there. I said, "Why not? This is a huge city. It's a massive city.
There's room for everybody. There's room for everything."
I feel sometimes that people, they have this thing. I say, oh, no, it's not that. Well, why you try to make it people be what you want to be? The city need to be what they be, and this moving constantly, and you make it the progress, and the city will tell you what needed. And that is the city. That is LA. But in the time was, say, well, many people will say. So I put it everything in that, and I try to convince the people next to me and people support me. And this one is start Somni. So it was not easy because we have a lot of work to do it and and convince people, because say it's my company, the hotel company, the operated company. So but that work and they make it was magical, I think too, Someone was really, really incredible. Well, we did it there, but they say take it 5 years. What I learned too is everything takes so much time,
Yeah.
Chris.
So much time.
So much time. People, I don't know, this restaurant, they get 5 years to that, and oh man, still have so imperfections to do that, and say, but people only see it now, but the 5 years, and you cannot cut it that. Oh, I don't know to do it. Probably is my mistake. Probably some another people can do it faster and they can do it better and can do it. But me, with my knowledge, with my Aitor, everything takes so long. And it's hard because you want to go fast.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what, you want to go fast because I want to go. We have a service. We want to do it. We want to make it. It's so much long, so long. And in the end, it's nothing you can control.
So Somni One closed during the pandemic, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And then what really amazed me was how much work you were putting in. You acquired a space. You started your own development kitchen, getting ready for Somni 2. And I watched. And you and I were texting during those times, and I was always asking you what's going on and what you were working on so much unique. And you would have people reaching out to you looking for work. I remember people were asking you for jobs, and it was a really amazing thing because you were sharing a look into what was going on. And I don't think from the outside, from my perspective, I thought it was amazing to watch you do this because I know how dedicated you are. I know how much you put in. And it was awesome to get a glimpse into that because I've been standing next to you during plate ups and cooking. But to see, letting the world get to see it was really exciting because I knew something was coming. I knew something was coming and it was going to be fucking special.
Well, I think it's what I say. I mean, we take it so long because we are small. I mean, this time of 5 years, we was really, really small people. My people, family and partner, Ishmael were with me, or Luca. We were really a small team. My business partners, and some friends. If I say it takes so long, and it was really hard many times because we know was a really big impact when we closed the restaurant. It was not controllable. Not because it was a pandemic, because we all closed it, but when we decided we not open again, it was hard to take it in that moment. Even the moment I don't feel it. I think I feel it 6 or 7 months later when I realized that we not go back. I need to have all this massive work, find the space, find investors, find the designer, find the lawyers, find, construction, manage it.
Start over.
You start from zero. You start
That's
from zero.
hard.
You start from zero that my brother told me something another day that was funny because say, well, we revival Somni. I say, no, man. Somni was dead. Literally was dead. You close the restaurant, that means it's dead, and you bring back 5 years later. So, that is like a crazy. So that is I don't think so much about it. But in the end, is to say, starting from zero, when you was really, we were good in that time. Somni was great. I understand pandemic hit everyone and it's sad to close to do that, but say, well, maybe we'll back. But when you know and you realize that you need to start at zero, is the big thing. We do many things, but I still believe we can do even more, but we are a small restaurant. So we are two people. I remember go to buy the food, come here to the office, clean the patio, cooking, make it the small events for people to try to create some revenue for us because we need a life. So when I close the restaurant, 3 months later, I left Jose's. No job, no, zero job. So I'm lucky to have some people support us and with these events, and I know my savings to live to that because I was dreaming to open again to the restaurant. For me, it would be easy to be stay with Jose or go with the working another huge chef because I have a lot of many big chefs they contacted me, give me a job. But I was wanted to open back, and it was what I put it on my money. So, but they say we develop many things, but in the end, we are only two people, and we need to do many things. To say we have a lot of meetings, city meetings, lawyer meetings, partners meetings, design meetings, and you need to try to develop in the same time. It's not that you have a structure. We don't have a structure. The structure was me and my sous chef. So, and that was make it even better, feel better because say from so much little. And after obviously we added more talent. Obviously the general manager come in 6 months before open, the wine director, the sous chef. But for 4 years before we hire, we was only two people here, and we do manage all that. Manage to try to. We have support. Obviously, we have hired a project manager for the construction, and we're the general contractor, the mill worker. How it's open a restaurant, how many dots
Yeah.
we do it. So it's so and this level even higher. So what's really crazy, I think we learned a lot. I learned the biggest thing I learned is I know I need to lose bottles, many bottles, because you want to do this thing, but it's not possible because you don't have money, because regulations, because it's an option, because you don't have the space. So lost many battles. And that is a really big put you in the place because you have a dream, clear vision, but the reality hit you in the face every single time, And I always have put an example, the kitchen. We have a really tiny kitchen. I'm really proud what the team do and how much pull from this kitchen because they're 250 square footage. And we put it 26 courses and trying to be the high level. So all these things, we try to transforming in a way that is a beneficial, but there's many things there. It's not helpful,
And look where it is now.
Yeah, no, it's great. And
It's amazing.
It need to be better, but it need to be better because say,
But and that's something that I think I just want to reiterate. That's you, and it has always been you. You're never satisfied. You're never satisfied with what's going on. You want to push.
I will never be. I will never be because I working with the best of the best. I'm working with the best of the best, and I know we are far away for that. And I know it's not I want to be the best of the best. It's not that. It's I want to be best. I want to be best every day. And I think, now the accolades and everything is great. But interiors to me, we always say, we deserve it to that. You think because it's too early, because we still need to be growing. We need to create systems, kitchen need to grow, system service need to be better. All these things, if you don't have that hunger to that, I will open another type of restaurant. So if you don't have that, it's a problem. I think so. And this is say probably is a negative sometimes. I say you can never happy about it, because you don't enjoy it. But in the same time, is what they put it what we are. Is what we are right about who we are. Is because we are always,
Pushing.
pushing.
Push. There's push.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of questions that I really think are important for, bigger picture. Like, what is your thought on social media in restaurants versus real life in the restaurants? Because they're two very different, distinct things. And I know you see what goes on in that world right now.
Social media is a great tool. The only problem is how people use that tool, It's a good tool for the restaurants to be close to your guests and see what you're doing it and things like that. The problem is how much, unhappy people is in the world, and people they want to have be negative or something like that. I think is in how much impact in people, I think that is a really, really big, but not only social media, all media in general, I think that, we have, it's always controversial, always a problem, always to do that. So I think for the restaurants is a great tool in general, for the chefs too. But it's only an image. I think in the end, we need to realize that. And if you want to know a restaurant, go to the restaurant, eat in the restaurant, talk to the staff, be involved with the staff. It's good to have followers. It's great to do that. But I want to have a guest. So the same thing. What is the best? Always put an example. What is the best list in the world for the restaurants? The best list of the world of the restaurants is the reservation list. If it's full, you are no problem. This is the best list of the world. It's clear to that. And this is what I think I try to, we don't need to live there. We need to live here. We need to live for the people here. Obviously, it's a problems in the social media, people commenting or haters or something like that. Nothing you can do. You try to do what you honesty to do that. Yeah, I'm sure you make mistakes, and the good thing is to say, if you make a mistake, you say sorry and try to make it better. And another thing is try to believe here, live with the guests they coming here, with the staff, obviously, but live in this because it's what the people, eh, they will be taken. You know, people don't have a memory in the social media. You can make it something, and then 2 weeks they forget it to do that, and they go in another thing and another thing. But people they come to the restaurant, you create emotions and memories that they feel forever. That is beautiful. That is moving on. That is moving yourself. I think it's what makes it meaningful what we do. Nothing like that. And it's only 14 people. Maybe it's better. Say I prefer to have a 14 people that they have that. They have a 100,000 followers that they say, "Oh, how cool you are." It's good. I think I say for a little bit ego moment, it's great. But for reality, if you are thinking in the reality, the more important is here. So it's what I see in a social media and in general, And today's is really too much controversial, too much problem. Besides to be cohesive, we try to separate it, everything, and that is, I'm not interested about that.
What has been your worst mistake?
In my worst mistake, in the kitchen or in the restaurant, or
In general, just in general, do you have something that you regret along the road that you've made to get where you are today?
No, obviously my family, my partners at the time I not spent with them, and giving too much to the restaurant and not giving to them. That is the biggest one because, they are always with me, they are always support me. They are always understandable, but you don't need to understand. This is really, really, because you're working 14 hours, you can go on vacation, you go on Christmas. That is selfish. And I understand too that. Sometimes it's selfish, because you cannot save everything, and your passion is your passion, and you need to understand to do that. So yeah, my biggest regret is that I have small mistakes, that I think I'm really pushy, with general in the restaurant. But I think it's because of who I am. I think I want to have the best with everyone, and they are the best everything. But always with love, and I love people. I care about people, about my people, But the biggest one is family and partners and friends and spend time. My niece, I spend I cannot see her. I left the country. She was this size. Now it's a 16 beautiful woman that I don't spend that much with her. So that is, I think, is the biggest thing. But it's the same. You say if you want to do good, sometimes you need to let it go. Some things, but it's
Yeah.
selfish.
Do you have a best meal? Do you have one of those best meal moments?
I think the best meal. Yeah, I have a best meal. I have a best meals in different places. Obviously,
Of
I have
course.
I eat in El Bulli. I am lucky to eat in El Bulli. Amazing. I eat in Noma, the best meal in the old Noma. I eat in Japan and Kyoto. And I'm lucky I eat in the best restaurant in Central, everywhere in the world, or in many. And it's a great places. But for me, the best meal I have is in the beach, Malaga, with my mom and my sister, my brother-in-law, in this restaurant that I can put my feet in the sand, and they're serving me these sardines, cooking in the grill, having time with us, laughing with my family. It's called a Saladero. It's a place. This is a great moment. I think it's perfect. The food is incredible technician, perfect now, but probably not. But that feeling, the emotion I have, that make it the best meal ever. I think that is what I always try to catch it. The emotions, that emotion is what they move you. And I want people move it. It's what I think is for me is the best meal is always that. And always these moments that they are my people around or my friends around. And I feel myself, in all these huge places is enjoyable. It's amazing. And I have emotions too, but it's different. I think it's different, especially when you're a professional of that. I think, you value and you respect, but I think you value more when what you don't have. And I think these meals, when you have your family around and timing is a stop, that you say, doesn't matter what time it is, what day it is.
Yeah.
That is great. That
That
is
is.
the best meal. And I say, The last I remember is in this one in El Saladero, next to Malaga, in the south of Spain, with my sister Arancha, my mom is there, and Tomas is my brother-in-law. And that moment is magical, and it will be forever for me, you know. And I probably forget it on other things, but that will be one of the best ones.
Is there anything you won't eat?
I know foie gras.
No.
No, I know foie gras, and it's not because I think the dog system and how they use it. That is another thing. It's because when I have 19, I tried the poêlée foie gras, and I had a gastroenteritis, gastric. I have a filled bad and throw up and everything like that. And my breath is torn back, and never again. I cook it many times. I love how it smells when you put it in a nice, you know, and they start to melting. The smell is incredible, but I can put it in my mouth. And
that's a bummer. It's a sensory, a memory sensor that triggers you.
Yeah.
If you could have dinner with anybody, alive or gone, who would it be?
I have one is my personal, will be my father, because I was never have a relationship when I was a young. He passed away when I was 15, but it was before, and I don't have that much relationship. He lived in Ireland, in Mallorca. And when I met him was terminal cancer, so he passed away a month later. So when I meet him, with the sense to know who he is, because I meet him when I have 3 years old, but I have flashes to that. But when I meet the person that I know was when I have 15, so and a month later passed away. So that will be one. Another will be my grandmother. Probably she was a terrible cook, terrible cook. Tough like a ice, you know. It was tough, but she has a heart inside. You feel like they have a heart, and have a so close relationship. I will have with them because I want them who I am now. They are part of who I am, you know. My relationship with my father made me who I am, good in a bad way. And the care of my grandmother, even is a tough and really bad cook, they made me who I am. They support me for cooking and everything like that. And she was always worried what will be my future. You know, say, oh, this guy will be bad. You know, I remember in the army when I was in the army, and I have a structure. She sent a letter to the general to say he need to stay in the army. My mom touching before she throw it to the mailbox. Really, always the history in my family. Always they tell that. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
That's amazing. Keep him.
Famous people or people that I love to make it with Brian de Savaren or all these people that they are, or Karem, all chefs that they are in the past that see how they're thinking about it, or how the food was about it, more professionally way, you know. I think I'm really familiar because I don't spend time with my family, and I miss that, and I want what I don't have. This is what I will eat it with people that I don't have around me anymore, and see who I am and how I turn it. It was not that bad at all, you know. So in the end, I was not that bad.
What has been the biggest culinary flop you've made? We've all had them. All those dishes that we think are perfect, and then the guest doesn't get it. I know you have one. That you.
I know. No. Just that I don't have one. I have many.
Of course, but I know that you have one that's like really there that you go, oh.
I always have this perception, and I think all the chefs, they have this perception, is in your mind, everything is perfect. And you're sitting and whatever, I think, oh, this. And after you put it in as a disaster. Never, you know, especially when you try to do something super technique and you see it like a shape perfectly, and you start to put it, and in the end it's a churro, you know, like nothing. In Spain we say, well, it's a churro because it's really bad, you know, but you know, because like the churros, they are sometimes shaped really weird. So many of them are their churro. I don't remember one that says a big failure, because I have many failures. So that's why I say I don't try to be attached. You know, I say people come to the restaurant and say, what is your favorite restaurant on the menu? The last one we made it because it's the more exciting to put it. So, and people, it's not. I try don't be that attached with the dishes because I am boring so quickly. Now the menu it is. I was talking with Ishmael yesterday. Oh, the menu is so bad, so I need to change it on the menu. And he looked at me like, "What are you talking about?" We changed many things in the last 2 months. You know, it's exciting to do that. I have so many mistakes, so many bad dishes. That will be hard to tell you. This is. I remember in this movie too, with El Bulli, this documentary that I was talking before. And I was in one moment of the film, man, I was talking with Eduard Chatruk, one of the owners of this frutar and chef of this frutar. And I was telling him, oh, but can you do that? Should we put in? I don't remember exactly what I'm talking about. I was trying to explain it. What is the idea? And he looked at me really seriously. You think it will be working? And me I say, I don't know. I think it could. So, I'm lucky because I'm thinking of many things, but I don't know if it's working. I try it, and this is what I love to do. I try it. The I think I fell so many times because I say it's 3 years of career to trying to developing and be creative that I make it, and I make many dishes that that was pretty bad, pretty bad. Pretty bad. And the only way, you talked about the social media. Many of the social media use it. Many is and now we deleted many, but I make it my backgrounds when I have ideas, then make it something bad or something wrong, even look nice. I post it in Instagram, and after when I want to think in a dish, I say, oh, let's go there. I go to Instagram, I check it out photos that say, oh, I did it. This was so bad, but maybe we can try it again. And I have files. I have files from all the years we developed, and always trying to go back because that is a thing I learned in El Bulli, that going always back, the things that don't work, because after you can be work because you learn more, you technically be better because you have a tool or technology or whatever. It can be go back and make it that idea feasible. Now it's harder to do it because we're running a restaurant. Social media uses sometimes for that before. Posted there, and now when I'm gonna go back to some idea that I did it before, I screwed out and I check it out.
That's smart. What is your favorite cookbook?
You know, and you're a chef too, bro. You have the same problem. You have a lot of cookbooks, too many. I spend so much money in books, and in the end, I don't have a real time to read it. I remember when I was young, and I loved the Brillant de Savarin. I always say the philosophy of the taste. I like a lot the Albert Adria de los Postres del Bulli, Sabor del Mediterráneo. I love too, but I love the Michel Bras. I have a lot of ones, and I have another ones I like to read. I remember Anthony Bourdain, the first book of Anthony Bourdain when he came to El Bulli was a change game, a rock star, things like that. And they're all books, I like all the books too. Jose always gives me from Carême. He gives me one for Escoffier. All these things. I read it. Now the problem, I don't have time to do that. And I don't go back to that. So, and I still have a huge library. And when I go, because it's in my garage, I don't have a space. My house is so tiny. And I have all the garage full of books. The same you have in your background, all the garage is like that.
Yeah.
And I look at them my day off or have a day off or whatever I have time. And I look at it, maybe I'll pick it up one book, but I can concentrate. It's hard to me to choose, but it's massive books there. And when I see them, maybe I need to catch this one because this is great. I think it was great. And I go sometimes, this store now serving in LA.
They have great selections.
Great selections, and always when I can, I go there and I always pick at 6 or 7, and and then
add it to the pile at the house.
Put in my side bed. I have a 3-5 there. So tomorrow I started from the top.
Yeah.
Then at some point, I say, I need to put it in delivery because I will not read it. So it's that thing. I love books because it's what we talked before. When I was young, I loved reading books. I was reading all the books, encyclopedias, everything. Now it's hard to me to find a time to do that. Now what I read more is have a headphone and listen all the books. They made me concentrated because you listen somebody talk to you in your ear, and I'm cooking, I'm listening.
That makes sense. For some, and for a lot of people, that's an easier way of taking it in because they don't have the focus to read.
Yeah, I lost the focus in that way. I lost the focus, and the only way when I'm cooking is the only time I'm really focused because I need to make it this, I need to make it that. Especially now, I am in the patisserie. I have all the patisserie the restaurant is making for me, so I'm not pastry chef. So in the mornings when I make it all the production, I have my headphone. somebody call me because I have a meeting or something, but in the same time, I put the headphone, put a focus in the patisserie and make it the production, and I listen, many different books. Yeah, but I don't listen too many cookbooks. I listen more history books, for the human and things like that. And older I am, I like more the past and the past and the past, and see what the humankind coming from and why we are who we are.
Yeah. Do you have a must-have kitchen tool? Is there one tool that you think every cook needs to have?
Tweezers.
Just so you know, he and I have had many a conversation about this. I knew that was coming at some point.
I was not thinking you even asking, but to say you put it there in a nice flat tray. I said, let's do it. No, it's funny because I was thinking in the day because see this thing about who was French chef, but so many stars. Well, one French chef, really famous. He say he banning to have a tweezers at the restaurant. He's in a huge. He probably have 8 or 10 Michelin stars. So he's a gastronomy restaurant. He say he's cutting to do that. And David Kinch from Andresa, he was close to him. He go, yeah, you're right. He was reposted to do that. And I was thinking to you in that moment. No.
So to kind of put this into bigger perspective so everybody understands, we used to break each other's balls about this, right? Because I said, we have fingers, and he would say, your fingers are too clunky and dirty, and you need to use and we would have these debates, and always in good fun, right?
Oh,
and I think we've always poked each other because I'll be honest, I cook like a caveman. I am old school grandma style.
I love to do that.
And what has always enamored me about Aitor is his embracing of that caveman cooking and that traditional grandma old school cuisine, but his elevation of those dishes and those flavors. He's always been able to elevate them and bring them to that high level of gastronomy. And we just poke at each other about it. Cause I just would always laugh and say, I'm the caveman and you're the technician. And it ended up becoming.
No, it's not that.
But we had fun poking at each other about it. That was it.
So I think the tools that are necessary depends what you are.
Time and place.
Yeah, sometimes it makes sense, sometimes don't make sense. And
I have them. I'm not going to lie. I'll send you a picture.
No. And I have fingers too. No, but I think it's great to have options and people can do that. What I don't like is when people try to put in the top of another people. Say, no, you don't need to use it. You do whatever you want.
Exactly.
It's freedom, you respect, it's fine. I love that. And the tool, I will always use it in the restaurant. I think every chef need to have it, is a notebook and a pen. And it's not a tool, but I think it's a good thing. And now, for me, now is because we have a lot, the work here and they have a computer, but I miss to have everyone take a notes because I think it's a tool so important to don't forget it. But if we go straight forward to a tool like something you use it for cooking. I love sautés. I love a nice sautés. Doesn't matter if it's I would love to a copper one, and this is classic. I love the copper thing. I hate it to clean it, but I will say it's something that I love it. I love the coppers. I like a sauté. The same I love the turbo copper. I have this turbo copper that you cook all the raw like a French thing.
Yes.
These things that you need to have one. It doesn't matter what you choose. You're a chef. You're a technical. You do molecular. You do fermentation. You do whatever you do. I don't care. You need to have one copper. That is this pass of history to history. Especially if you buy one or somebody better if somebody give you one. That is all. That is not something you buy new and open a copper pot. When we use a copper pots for saucing here. We buy 20. I don't know for saucing in front of the guests. I open the copper pot. They're cool. They're sparkling. But they give me this turbo copper, like it was rusty. I need to clean it, and I was excited. So that is how many people they will cook a turbo there.
I love those.
I think that things they move me. I like this part of the past, adding to the new thing that I think is really it's passing the legacy. I like the legacy. I think that this thing, and some people they don't see that. As I also say about the connections. I think many people don't see it, but this one is. I think this is really, really nice. And I think people need to have it.
What makes you happy?
I will say when I feel the service was fit good, the team was happy because the service was smooth. They make it beautiful plates. We presenting, we enjoying with the guests. The guests, they are really enjoying, and they have they don't need to be a complimentary. They don't need to tell us how you be good. That is, they say it's great, but I think you feel when the people, they're happy and they have a good experience. And I think that is the biggest thing. I think made me like a chef made me happy when I see the restaurant is going smooth in general. When we saw, how the service when there is sloppy. Doesn't matter if you are a taco truck or you want to fine dining. We have
Makes
all
it
that.
hard.
We have all that. We have all that because for many reasons, because there's a lot of things to do. But when the day you finish and you see people is happy, cleaning happy, and the guests live happy, and you see the menu was right and was tempo, because let's say older I'm more focused on tempo and the timing and the timing and the timing. They need to be like this, they need to be like this, because it's too much with people. Well, that. And that made me happy. I go home, I say, we made it today. It's great. You feel good, But that happened often, so I will tell the truth, No, no, it's hard. It's just that is the hardest thing, consistency. Consistency.
Yes.
That word is like a big stone in our back, like a restaurant, consistency. How you make
Consistency is king.
yeah, but when you learn the word consistency, that is nothing, but more like passion, love, created, that they have really bumping thing, they are really sparkling, a really beautiful word to say. But consistency is really cool. Consistency. So like, yeah, and don't have a feeling with that. You don't have it's like, and that is really hard. So that is when we make it that thing, is that happiness. Obviously, when you make it a dish, and you see that dish is good, that is something that is a drug too. It's like you feel like a goosebumps, huh? The goosebumps.
Yeah.
It's a goosebumps. Oh, this is good. This is good. This is good. They taste good. They look good. Even I have this problems, and the dish never is ending for me. Always maybe we change this plate for this one, maybe plate it better so the ingredients are the same, or maybe we added that. Always we are constantly to do that. But when you make it the first time, even it's not polished 100%, that is a hard drug, for a chef. I think so. Not for me only. I think for any chef, whatever they do, because it's to create this emotion that the guest will feel it too. If you feel it, I think the guest will feel it, and that is what make you there and constantly to try to do it.
That's awesome. All right. Ready? Quick fire questions. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Espresso or drip?
Espresso.
Milk or no milk?
Almond milk. Sorry. Almond milk.
Almond milk.
I'm so LA right now.
Pancakes or waffles? Oatmeal or yogurt?
Yogurt.
Bacon or sausage?
Bacon.
Chicken or duck? Beef or pork? Quail or squab? Hot dog or hamburger? Ketchup or mustard?
Mustard.
Dijon or whole grain?
Whole grain.
French fries or onion rings?
French fries.
Taco or burrito?
Taco.
Pasta or noodles?
Pasta.
Ravioli, dumplings.
Dumplings.
Raw oysters, raw clams.
Raw oysters.
Lobster or crab? What type of crab?
Any crab. Dangerous crab, king crab, changurro, any crab. It's one of my favorite ingredients. Anyone. A hair crab, anyone, from anywhere in the world. You put me a crab, I will eat that crab. Lobster? No, not too fan. I'm not fan of lobster.
Sea urchin or caviar?
Papam. Sea urchin. Give me 1 second response.
Yeah, of course.
Sea urchin, because I remember eating the sea urchin in a boat in Rosas, in the coast, pick it up the sea urchin with a cava open, eat it fresh there, or go to Hokkaido and swimming with Jose to pick it up. Caviar, you can open an extrusion, but not the same. Sea urchin. But they are there, I love caviar a lot.
Black or white truffles? Meatballs or sausage?
Sausage.
Favorite pizza style?
I will tell you something. But I don't like pizza. I don't eat pizza.
There you go. Dessert or cheese?
Well, I'm sorry. I eat it. I don't hate it, but I will never be myself ordering a pizza. Sorry,
That's fair. Dessert or cheese?
dessert.
Red wine or white wine?
It depends of the moment. I don't drink normally, but depends of the moment. I think depends what you're eating. Red and white. That is the hard to me.
I forgot you don't drink. That's my bad.
Yeah.
Bad on me.
No. But I drink. So I would drink 3 or 4 times a year. But normally I drink champagne. Yeah, I have this fancy taste for that. So I have only that luxury to drink it 2 times champagne and probably never pay for that. Somebody give me a bottle and I open and I drink it and I drink in one glass. That's it. There's no, but not, this is the only thing probably I ate it. And I taste 1 or 2 times if it's something really, really, really,
Really special.
Yeah. Something. But no, whenever you will see me normally eating and drinking.
Yeah. Ice cream, soft serve, gelato, or sorbet?
Ice cream.
Cup or a cone?
Yeah, cup.
Okay. Do you like chocolate?
I like with the waffle, but the problem is so messy. It's the only problem. I like to not be dirty. So, but I like the waffle, but a cup because it's easy to clean and you remove.
Chocolate or
I love fruit. But a nice dark chocolate. When you are in the middle of the day, you pick up one piece of dark chocolate. That is orgasmic. But fruit is. I grow with so much fruit. I tell you, my grandma's so bad cooking, but she buy me maybe 2 kilos of mandarin and I ate it in one. So she was crazy. Why you eat so much? And apples and pears. I love to do that. I go there when I have a house in my family with the river next to the farms and pick it up raisins, and I pick it up raisins. Fruit is something of the best things to do.
honey or maple syrup?
Maple syrup.
Favorite candy?
I eat any candy. I would say eat any candy now. I love all the candies. They are sour.
Do you have a guilty pleasure? Is there something that you eat I know you've got one.
Yeah, I like all the cookies, chocolate cookies and things like that. And but I know I try don't do that, but I like I have these cookies that they're really this called digestive. It's a chocolate from one side, regular that I like to eat it, and I can eat one packet and once. But I think I try to avoid it to that. It's only I have this store in LA. It's called the John's. John's. And when I go there, they have it only there because only the stores around my house, they don't have it. So I try to avoid it to go there.
What would your last meal be?
My last meal will be really with my people, all the people around. If it's possible, say in the beach, eating a lot of seafood and nice grilled thing, fish, and and that will be mushrooms, peas, fish, seafood. I don't know. Will be like a bavette festive, like full of table like that, and with people around that I love, with not enjoying, laughing, listen music, dancing, whatever. I think it will be the perfect one.
I love that. Aitor, thank you so much for taking time. Folks out there, if you have a chance, make sure that you follow Aitor on Instagram, follow Somni to see what's going on, to see the beautiful food he's doing there. And when you're going to LA and you know you're coming, make a reservation, hurry up, make your reservation now for 3 months from now. I don't know. I say that. I don't know how busy he is in advance, but I'm sure since the announcement of the 3 Michelin stars, he's been inundated with phone calls and requests. But I'm telling you from personal experience, you will be blown away. Everything is just magical. And I'm looking forward to my next trip to LA to come and visit and have dinner. So thank you.
This is your house, and people please be a little bit patient because it's a small restaurant. We'll try to fit in more weekend. Thank you for giving me the time to talk here and remember things. That is great. I hope so. I don't look like a foolish. No. People, they love what we talk about it because it's pure, naturally what I am. And happy to spend this time with you. And I hope see you soon in LA or in San Francisco.
All right, everybody. Make sure that you check out Aitor, check out Somni, and have a great day. Thanks for listening to How the Sausage is Made. If you've liked what you've heard today, please make sure to like and subscribe And don't be afraid to tell your friends about it.